Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. I am your host, Tori. It's been a minute. Matter of fact, Happy New Year. Are we still able to say Happy New Year? This is my first time being back in the studio for 2022. And of course, it's been a minute. I miss you guys. And of course, I'm happy to be here. And I have a wonderful guest in the studio with me today. I'm so excited about today's show. I have Miss Diamond Cain in the studio with us today. And Diamond, tell the people a little bit about yourself before we dive in.
Yes. So I am Diamond. I am the founder of Heart of Life nonprofit. We are a college and career coaching nonprofit in the area. We offer coaching services to students starting in middle school all the way up through college. And it is our goal to help students just to find themselves, find what they're passionate about, and learn how to monetize their passions. So we cover a slew of things, not just college and career coaching. We do college tours. We have internship and job assistance. We got it? Okay. We have internship and job shadowing assistant placement. We have finance and money management. And we also do family support services. So we have an array of things that we cover to serve the community and make sure our students are getting all the support that they need to become their best selves.
Okay. And say the name of the organization once again, because the mic was turned off. So hopefully everybody heard it. But just repeat the organization again.
Sure thing. It is Heart of Life. HEART of LIFE.
And tell everyone, because my son was at the retreat.
Yes, he was.
Tell us a little bit about the retreat that you guys had for that weekend, because he's still talking about that retreat.
Oh, awesome. I love to hear stories like that. So it was a weekend retreat. We had the students come in on Friday evening and they stayed with us until Sunday. And so the process was just a process of them really questioning what they wanted out of life and how to accomplish their desires. And so one thing I really stress to them is don't choose a career to chase money. Choose a career that pushes your passion, because if you push your passion, the money's going to come. If you passionate about what you're going to do, you're going to give it your all, and you're not going to shortchange yourself. And if you're not shortchanging yourself, you're going to reap what you're putting out. So whatever a man soweth, that which he will reap. So what are you sowing? Where are you putting your energy? And if you're putting your energy there, is it serving you? Because everything we put our energy towards is supposed to serve us. So we have to be mindful. So it was just a weekend of just teaching them how to be aware of themselves, be aware of their feelings, and learn how to navigate through life by understanding themselves and their desires.
And I'm telling you, he's still talking about that weekend. Matter of fact, I'm actually supposed to ask you to verify the date. I said, well, I'll ask her when the show is over.
Yes, our next date is actually scheduled for February 19th.
Okay.
So we're going to get back with them, and so from this point on, we will have monthly meetings, and we will cover an array of things like college applications, financial aid, grants, and scholarships, understanding self-awareness, just understanding your triggers and how to move through those things. And so it's just pretty much a monthly meeting of helping them get to where they want to be. Essay writing, SAT prep, SAT and ACT prep. So our goal is to make sure they are able to accomplish everything. And all students aren't college bound. And it's not that they're not capable of college, it's that they don't have a desire to go to college. And so for those students, we get them connected with professionals in the area that they may be interested in. And we make sure that they have a mentor in that area to help them get to where they want to be. So we're not just leaving them out there by themselves just because they don't want to go to college.
Okay. Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Diamond actually tell everyone that since you actually helped me with the topic,
Did I?
yeah, you did help with the topic. So tell everyone what we're going to be talking about today. And I want you guys, of course, to, like you guys normally do, feed in comments, and we're going to interact with the audience as well. But you gave me part of the topic, and I'm going to say the rest of the topic that I had. But what you put your little spin on it.
I did. I have a tendency of doing that sometimes. Put my little touch on it.
Which was good.
Yeah. So the topic basically is about healing yourself, right? So being aware of who you are. Like, let's heal so that the best version of ourselves can show forth. A lot of times we find ourselves operating based upon past traumas, past experiences, and we are not aware of how those experiences have shaped our personalities and shaped the way in which we operate in our day to day. And a lot of times, the way in which we operate in our day to day don't really serve us. It doesn't serve our greater good. So let's talk about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Matter of fact, you kick it off. Just tell me what exactly does that look like to you?
Oh, wow, that looks like a lot. That looks like letting go of what I think life is supposed to be and actually start looking at what life really is. Right. And so I wore my shirt today, and you may not be able to see it because of the screen, but the shirt says "Live Your Truth," right? And all of my students that came and spent the weekend with me, they all get shirts that says "Live Your Truth." And the message behind "Live Your Truth" is be true and honest with yourself about your experience. And just because someone may not agree with the experience that you've had, it does not mean that your experience did not happen. So we're both sitting in the same room, but you have a different experience than I have, right? Be honest about what you felt. Be honest about how that affected you or helped you, and not be concerned about what someone else may think or what they may say about your experience, because your experience is what's going to help catapult you to your next point in life.
Right. And let's talk about those traumas.
Whew, honey. We all have them, right? I sometimes I get a little tickle. Sometimes I say, "Oh, that sounds like a trauma," and they be like, "I'm not traumatized." Oh, yeah, right. So we all have some level of trauma, but it's all about being able to identify those things and recognize. And what may be traumatizing to me may not be traumatizing to you. Right. And that's going back to living your truth, because I don't need you to agree with me for my truth to be true to me. Right. So healing your traumas allow you to see things from a different perspective. And it comes from a place of, I'm just going to speak from my personal experience. I have a personal experience of, I've experienced a lot of rejection, right? Especially in my younger years, right? So I've experienced rejection after rejection after rejection, right? How do I move past the rejection and get to this point, right? So in order for me to move past the rejection, I have to be honest about the experiences that I've had with rejection. And in that, I had to say, you know what? Because I've been rejected, I see rejection showing up in my life by me being a people pleaser. I will wear myself out trying to please people, right? And it does not matter how many times I have had people in my life that have rejected me and then come back and I let them in, right? Rejected me, come back, I let them in. And I've always tried to remain the same person. I always try to be the same diamond, right? That was a pressure on myself that I did not even have to put on myself. That's self-inflicted trauma.
Yes.
Right? So that's self-inflicted trauma. But I continue to inflict myself with that trauma of overdoing, overexerting myself, trying to make up for the rejection, trying to, if I can just give enough, if I can just show up enough, then that puts me in a situation where you will love me more. No, that puts me in, really, it puts me in a situation for me to continue to be used and abused, because at that point, I'm not setting any boundaries. So when I'm always overextending myself, I'm always, yes, yes, I can do it. Please let me do it. Yes, I'll volunteer. They're just like, oh, well, give it time and she'll always do it. And then when you say no, it's like, oh, you change. You're not the same person. Why is change so negative? Why do we have such a negative connotation when it comes down to change? Yesterday doesn't look like today. Why do I have to look like yesterday?
Girl.
I'm going to say that again.
Woo.
Yesterday don't look like today. Why do I have to look like yesterday?
Girl. You helping me. Keep talking. Shut your mouth.
Talking.
Listen,
I'm just talking. We didn't even get
started.
started yet. I'm just talking. I'm just sharing.
That was good to me.
Because we have this thing of we put ourselves in this box. And the box that we put ourselves in is what I think people expect from me. I don't expect anything from anyone except for you to represent the best version of yourself.
Right.
And it's not my job to tell you what the best version of yourself is. Right. So it's not my job to say, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing this or you should be doing that. That's not my job. Right. Because life, that's your life. It's your journey. So you have to determine the best way to get to your desired self. Right. So with that, for me, I make a decision to say, no, I'm not going to be that same Diamond. And if that version of me is not okay for you, then guess what? You have the right to say, you don't fit well in my space. And I don't take that personal because everyone is not going to mesh. Right? So we all Bible talks about being unequally yoked, right? I like to translate that into vibrations, right? We operate on different vibrations and different frequencies, right? My one person vibration may be the overextending themselves, right? But mine may be, oh no, I'm okay. I'm good on that, right? But just because I say no and you said yes, I can't judge you for saying yes, and you can't judge me for saying no because we're all just presenting our best self. Right. It is, and my no is not personal to you; it's personal to me. Right?
Yeah.
So I can't be offended just because you told me no.
But here's the thing. Some people are offended because you told them no.
And the people that are offended because I told them no, they don't respect their own boundaries. If you don't respect your own boundaries, how can you respect someone else's boundaries?
That's good. That's good.
Right?
That is so good.
Right. Honestly. So if I'm not giving myself what I need, I'm going to turn around and be mad at you because you decided to sit home this Wednesday night. You know, I'm just saying an example. I'm going to get mad at you for being home this Wednesday night because you took the time that you needed to recuperate.
Right.
And I didn't. I pushed myself.
Right.
So now I'm mad because you ain't show up. I'm only mad because I didn't respect my own boundary.
Right. Right.
If I respected my own boundary, I wouldn't be mad at you.
Yeah. Woo.
I see those comments over there. Go into it.
Let me go to some of the comments. Iris said, this is good. Iris Robinson. Mario says, stop following. Victor says, offended. Your offense is my defense. Definitely have to protect myself. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good, Victor. And what did he say back up here? He said, I'm not afraid of rejection. If I was, I definitely wouldn't take chances. Mm-hmm. Chances is what is to us what we are. All trauma ain't bad. It's a learning experience.
All trauma is not bad. And I'm going to go as further to say trauma itself is not bad. It's all about how you perceive trauma. It's all about the perception, the way in which you look at it. I had a situation that happened. I think it was 2020. Situation happened, big fallout. I had to communications cut off with some people, right? And because I was used to being rejected, it would be easy for me to say, oh, well, y'all just don't understand me, or y'all just, you just treat me any kind of way, or it's you, pointing the blame at someone else. But we always know when you point that one finger, how many more point back at you? It was not someone else's responsibility to respect my boundaries. It was my responsibility to respect my boundaries.
Right.
So once I learned how to respect my boundaries, those people that was using and that was abusing me or misusing me or was not giving me the love that I felt that I was deserving, I had to put a boundary there.
Right.
And it's not anything personal, but that boundary there helped me learn that I wasn't giving myself the love that I desired.
Right.
So therefore, because I wasn't loving myself the way I desired, no one could love me the way I desired.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I wasn't giving myself the energy that I wanted from someone else. So when I was judging people harshly, it was because I judged myself harshly.
Right.
When I held people to this standard and expectation, it's because I held myself to this false sense of standard and expectation.
Right.
But when I allowed myself just to be who I am, the authentic self, who I am prior to trauma, prior to expectations, now that's how you get into your miracle work.
Right.
That's how you get into calling those things as though they were, and you begin to see them.
Okay. Let me go back up to a comment. Let me go back, and I want you to give me some input on this. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? I'm not gonna find it because I want to find it.
Well,
but basically, hold on, because I need to address this comment.
Okay.
Let's see. Keep talking, Diamond. I got to find this comment.
Okay.
But basically,
well, as you look, I
okay. Let me see. Let me show some of the comment. One of the comments. I'm gonna just show one of the comments. Now, Mario, you are my classmate, and these comments that you're putting on my podcast is I'm just listen, the things
to fit you. Okay, you don't get to make up the truth that fits you. The conversation is all over the place. Well, Mario, that's perfectly fine, right? So here's the thing. I'm not offended by Mario's comment, right? Because Mario has an opinion, just like all of us do. Right?
Yeah,
so Mario has an opinion in regards to the topic. So in my response to Mario, you're absolutely right. Why? Because that's your experience.
And this is another comment that this is the one I was looking for. Black women do the same thing every day. This is what I do not like about, now, Mario, let me say this. We as Black women, regardless of how you disrespect us, regardless of how you criticize us, regardless of how you put us down, we still love you. And I'm going to make sure I say an extra prayer for you tonight, because I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on, wait, Tori. Hold on, let me back you up. Because see, here's now we get to see this live.
Yes.
Right. So now we get to see this live, because we experience things like what Mr. Mario, right?
Yeah.
We experience things like this every day. Someone has an opinion about what we're doing, about what we're saying. How do we process that? So here is a form of rejection, right? So an unhealed person, Mario, forget you. All of that. I'm going to get you. I'm going to put you in your place. And if you keep on, I'm going to block you. Mario, the divinity in me speaks to the divinity in you. And the divinity in me says, brother, I hope that you heal that trauma that you have with Black women. Because that's an experience that he allowed to shape his process of thought. Anything that you allow to shape your process of thought, you need to be mindful of. Why? Because it's also going to shape your future. What goes out must be returned. It's a karmic energy. So whatever energy he's putting out, he's going to have to receive back. So it's not my responsibility to control what he says. It's my responsibility to control how I respond. And when you respond in love, you will always get love returned back to you. See, Mario don't understand who's behind the mic, right? It's not for him to understand who's behind the mic. That's my job.
Keep going, Diamond. That's good. You
That's
blessing
my
me.
job. Yeah, that's my job. That's my
Ooh,
job.
that was good. And Victor says, oh wow, Mario, everyone is entitled to their opinion, but why express it if you feel nothing will change?
Well, Mario, if you feel the conversation is all over the place, why are we still listening? You know what I'm saying? So also those are boundaries. If something doesn't serve me, I don't have to continue to give my attention to it.
Right.
That's the power of choice. Yeah. And again, Mario, what levels of rejection have you experienced? Right? What traumas have you experienced? What traumas are we trying to hide by criticizing others? Remember when I said earlier, when you criticize others harshly, it's because we judge ourselves harshly.
Right.
When you're easy with yourself, I could mispronounce a word right here on this radio, on this podcast, and guess what? Oh, well, I messed that up. Guess why? Because I'm easy with myself. I'm not hard on myself. I'm not always going to get everything right. But guess what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. I promise you, it is not the end of the world. Mario comments did not stop this podcast.
And it won't stop the podcast.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Mario words only have the power in which we give it. We have given it power because now we are giving it attention.
Right.
All right. So Mario, you have taken enough of my energy. And I call my energy back to me, and let's move on. Amen. Ashe. Okay.
That was good.
It's all love. It's all about love. And when you're able to love yourself, it's easier for you to love others. Prior to 2020, Diamond, I would not have been able to do that. I would have. Maybe I'm a beast with my words, honey. I don't even know a thing about Mario, but by the time I had finished, it would have been a whole nother type of situation. But I understand that energy does not serve me.
Right.
It don't.
Right.
So I'd rather give my energy to something that I know that it's going to serve me.
Right. That was you. Listen. My hands off to you. Handle that very well. I was not handling
it's
that.
It's all in love. What is the greatest commandment? Honestly, let's talk. What is the greatest commandment?
Love,
right?
Yeah.
We can't accomplish anything without love.
Yeah.
Love is always the first step.
Right.
How can we love God first? When we don't love ourselves first.
Yeah.
We can't love God more than we love ourselves.
Right.
It goes hand in hand.
It does. Whew, that was good.
Breathe.
That was
like,
good.
Good point. Breathe.
But it was like, for me personally, I'm just trying to understand why we love the black men. We as black women, we love our black men, and it grieves me when a lot of times they hate us.
Okay. Well, hold on, wait.
Well, one person does.
Well, hold on, wait. No. I understand what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Sometimes when you cross and married other,
yeah,
people of other ethnicities and things of that nature, we kind of see where the black woman starts to get diminished, right?
Yeah.
But then also as a black woman, we have to say, where have we allowed these things to take place? See, as a black woman, we have to take responsibility for ourselves first, right? So it's easy for the unhealed person to point the fingers and point the blame and place the blame. But it takes a strong individual to take ownership of the part that they play. Okay. And a lot of times us as black women, we don't take the ownership of the part we play. And the ownership of the part that we play is allowing behaviors into our lives without setting those boundaries. Right? And that's
Yes.
It's about setting those boundaries, right?
Yeah.
And you can set boundaries and still be in love, right?
Right.
My sweetheart, one thing when we first started dating, he was adamant about his boundaries. And once he said no, I couldn't do it. Was nothing I can say or do to make that man change his mind, right?
Right.
And although that frustrated me, it taught me, right? It taught me that once you respect your own boundaries,
Right.
everyone around you is going to respect your boundaries. Either they're going to respect your boundaries or they're going to give you the two fingers,
Right.
right?
Right.
But me understanding his boundaries, not as a personal attack, but as a respect for himself, I then learned the why it's so important for me to have boundaries within myself.
Right.
And once I started setting those boundaries, a lot of the behaviors that I was accepting to or I was continuing to encounter, they're not around me anymore.
Right.
I don't have to deal with them anymore.
Right.
Right. And it's not changing the storyline, but it's saying, no, I don't want that in my space. And I have that choice. It's my life, my way.
Right. 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 Let me read this comment. Desire says, she says, trauma is the way your conscious mind accept events. Love, in a sense, is trauma. Can be good, can be bad. Rejection comes from love, whether it's self-love or loving others. Prime example, the guy Mario, see bad trauma causes you to lash out on people or things that cause negative energy to consume you. That's the fact of being on different vibrations, frequencies, or energies. Good trauma is what you all were showing because you've been there, experienced that, and you move accordingly. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But healed trauma looks like this.
Right.
Unhealed trauma looks like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say, be honest, I'm in a process of healing. So as you can tell, initially,
it's all about choices. You had to stop, take a breath, and make the choice not to go down that rabbit hole, because you was about to go all the way down that rabbit hole, right?
I was.
Right. And then also you have viewers that would have agreed with everything that you would have said coming after, going down that rabbit hole. But then also the the better version of you decided to come forth. You made a choice to move into the better version of yourself versus what you may have been used to responding with. Right. It's all about choice. Life is all about choices. You will see your life change when you change the way you make your choices.
Right. Woo, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. So basically, and then I also wrote down some things as well in regards to that I saw in you. And it's good that you mentioned the healing, the rejection. No, you were mentioning it. And this is the thing. When you started talking about the rejection piece, it felt like it's like me mirroring myself. Everything that you said, I did the same thing. I did not realize until as you were speaking how much of a people pleaser that I was. But when you start talking, I'm like, she talking about me.
Baby, I understand. I did it all. I did it all. It wasn't nothing that I would not do. If I had the capabilities of doing it, I would do it.
Wow.
Until one Tuesday. It was one Tuesday afternoon, and I stood in the middle of my kitchen floor, and I could not hold it together anymore.
Right.
I could not be the face that I wanted everyone to see. I was losing it in the middle of my kitchen, spinning in circles, trying to find my grip.
Right.
Could not find it. It was nowhere to be found. And I remember saying to my sweetheart, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. And I don't know what to do. I'm losing it. I don't know.
Right.
Right. And it's to the point where it was like I couldn't do anything, but I had to let it go.
Right.
I had to let it all go.
Right.
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 And letting it go was a whole nother battle within itself, because I was so used to operating out of my trauma.
Right.
I was so used to moving and seeing life from a trauma state.
Right.
And when I allow myself to fall apart, everything got better.
And you know a term that I have recently heard about, the trauma bonding. Are you familiar with that
Mm-hmm.
term?
Mm-hmm.
For
Trauma
those
bonding.
that don't understand, could you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So trauma bonding is when you find connections with other people based upon previous traumas, right? So for example, if you say you have a homegirl that's single and both of y'all are having trouble finding men, guess what? It's easy for you to call that homegirl. Girl, let me tell you about these men. They ain't no good. They don't want to take care of home. They want a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Now you having all of this negative energy coming out of you because you have connected
Right.
with your friend girl who is also in that same trauma bond. But actuality, the conversations need to be, in what areas of my life am I rejecting love for myself?
Right.
Right?
Right.
In what areas of my life am I not showing my best self?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
You also see it in relationships, right? Oh, well, he have a hard time opening up. I understand. I've been through things too, so I understand he have a hard time. He don't like to express his emotions. So now, because you don't like to express your emotions, he don't like to express his emotions. Now you're bonded together because y'all have this common thing because y'all communicate the same. Y'all
Right.
communicate on the same level, but y'all have so much conflict between each other because having a trauma bond is not enough. So now you're finding yourself, you always in conflict, or
Right.
there's a argument every day or every other day or whatever the situation is. You know that the situation isn't genuinely giving you happiness and peace, right? But you're willing to put up with it for the sake of not being single. Yeah, that's a trauma bond.
Right.
When you're staying with someone out of a fear of what could be, like that's a trauma bond, especially when you know that that person isn't serving you.
Right. Right. And Victor says trauma bonding is dangerous. I could use that to prey on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So if you have a female who haven't healed from daddy issues, right? You may bond yourself to a man that is controlling, domineering, and maybe even abusive. But they're telling you that those actions are love, right? And so because you're so attached to wanting to be loved, you're thinking I have to accept these behaviors in order to receive the love that I want. When in actuality, none of it serves you.
Right. Right. I'm learning that. I think that was my issue, the trauma bonding. We have that in common.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. No is gonna be your best friend. No. No. Get used to it. No.
And the block button.
No. Girl, I don't even have to block nobody no more. Because actually, by the time I start elevating and I started changing the frequency in which I operate on, they don't want to be around me anyway. So,
Right. Oh my goodness.
they don't want to be around me anyway, honey, because they can't take it. And it's
Wow.
okay.
And I took some notes when I was thinking about the topic earlier. It said, what feels like rejection is often God's protection when you're headed in the wrong direction. And it'll feel like rejection to you, but because you headed in the wrong direction, God is like, it's like a GPS. God is rerouting you because you're headed in the wrong direction.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What happens if rejection don't come?
Yo, we back. Something happened. Too many bombs. They was going to. Something was happening. When the truth comes out, he will come.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
Yes, it happens. It happens, right?
We back. We back. We back. We back. We back.
When technology happens.
Brittany says, I can't see video anymore. We back, Brittany.
I know, we back, boo. Thank you for being here. We're back.
And then Charlene said, yeah. Okay.
I
Victor
appreciate it.
Victor actually helped me out. He told me the last thing before we went out, Diamond said that you just said what happens when rejection does not come.
Yeah. So what happened when we're moving towards a thing and rejection doesn't come? Does that mean that we're moving in the right direction?
Not necessarily.
Right. So if we basically what I'm saying, we cannot hang our hats on rejection alone.
Right.
Right. So this is where I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But this is where we have to be aware of ourselves. And why I say we have to be aware of ourselves versus depending on what God said, right? Not excluding what God said, but we have to add another element to that.
Right.
The other element is, what are our emotions telling us, right? Because we have a feeling associated with almost everything, if not everything, right? So if I'm moving in a direction and that direction becomes stressful, that direction becomes uneasy, not uneasy as in I have work that I have to do, but uneasy as in it's causing me to be scatterbrained. It's causing me to have anxiety, right? That's a key indicator.
Right.
I don't have to wait till I'm rejected to know that that's not for me, that I can turn and go a different direction. And a lot of times I used to think that I had to suffer through in order to get to my better self. I don't have to suffer to grow. Right? When you grow willingly, you don't have to suffer to grow. Suffering only comes when you are trying to remain the same person.
Right.
Right? So as long as I'm not trying to remain the same, I'm not trying to hold on to belief systems that's not serving me, that's not serving my best self, my growth don't have to be painful. It don't have to be painstaking. Right?
Right.
So now that I'm in a place of nothing is going to look the same, really, I can't control anything. When I start trying to control things around me and control outcomes, that's my key indicator that I'm operating out of fear.
Right.
That's when fear shows up, right? When I start trying to be controlling. So if rejection don't show up, but my controlling tendencies show up, that's a key indicator to me that I'm not on the right track. I need to stop and reevaluate what's going on.
Right.
Right. So, and the reason why I said is because a lot of times we'll move into things and we don't necessarily get rejected in it. People can actually beg us to want to be right there in that one position. They could desperately want us there, and it's not rejection.
Right.
But does that mean that that's where I'm supposed to be?
No. You're right. You have to pay attention to what serves you. And for me, a boundary for me, like I tell people a lot of times, for me, when I start to feel the overwhelmness, I start to, what is a boundary for me may not be a boundary for you, but I know sometimes I have to take those times where I have to isolate myself and clearly just, not answer the phone, and just, I have to do that from time to time to regather my thoughts, regather myself.
Hold on, wait, time to time, baby. You should be doing that every day. I am completely honest. Like, you should be doing that every day.
Yeah.
Every day, you should be taking a moment to reflect about the person that you were today, the version of yourself that you expressed today, right?
Yeah.
And then you also should be setting your intentions for your day.
Right.
Don't wake up and just say, oh, well, I'm just going to see what the day brings. No, set your intentions for the day.
Right. Now, see, I was there where you are, but I had a setback. But you're absolutely right.
You set
You
you
set-
you set you back.
I did.
I know you did.
I did.
I know you did.
Let's see what Jamel said. Jamel said, no isolation. You could just adjust on the run. That's true. That's true. That's
Because
true.
if you stop and take a deep breath, you remember when you were having that moment,
Yeah.
and you stop, you were like,
Right.
right? Sometimes it's just a moment of taking a deep breath and ground yourself. If you get and you find yourself floating and you don't really like, you about to jump off the deep end, take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground.
Right. Right.
Step outside and take a deep breath of fresh air.
Right.
Right? Connect
Right.
back with yourself.
Right. And I'm glad you said that because, I was telling Jamel prior to this going live, there's an issue with the towers in Darlington. It's been going on for the past 2 months. And I had to think about that thing. I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity. There are some calls that are not going to reach you. There's some text messages that are not going to reach you. So this is an opportunity for you to focus on Tori. Focus on yourself instead of complaining, well, I can't receive this call or I can't receive this. But this whole time, now mind you, this has been going on 2 months. I just had the epiphany probably 2 days ago. Like, Tori, don't you think this could possibly be a blessing?
It is a blessing. Let me tell you why it's a blessing. Because you don't have to ignore, right? It's doing all the ignoring for you. You don't have to tell anybody no. It's doing all of the no's for you, right? You don't have any distractions. So now all you have is you.
Right. Right.
Turn the TV off sometimes.
And see, that's the thing. I don't watch. I'm not a TV watcher.
Right. I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
It reached somebody though.
Okay.
Yeah. Turn the TV off sometimes.
Right. Right.
Put down the phone sometimes.
Right.
And give yourself that time.
And I'm glad you said about the phone because I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today. And we were talking about, sometimes we're so consumed in social media, like you are taking a break to have lunch and you're with somebody else. But guess what? This is how you looking at the table. Both of y'all are looking at your phone. Both of y'all looking at your phone because you're so consumed with social media.
Go to Victor's comment. Isolation is dangerous because when you do that, then people will not want to mess with you because you don't care about them caring about you. So why would I waste my time if you don't value my check-in?
Value me checking on you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't value me checking on you. So Victor, I do want to ask a follow-up question. Do I have to accept your checking on you in a way in which you expect for me to accept it? I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you can check on me, right? But if I don't receive it, or if I don't respond to it the way that you expect for me to respond to it, does that mean I don't appreciate it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because here is why. It's because Victor is expecting me to respond to him based on his experiences. His experience is not my experience. Right?
Right.
So maybe I don't respond to you today. Right? But maybe that message that you sent me, hey, just thinking about you. And maybe I don't respond, but maybe in that moment that, hey, just thinking about you was what I needed to say, you know what? People actually care about me out here. Let me try to figure this out.
Right.
People actually rooting for me. I'm not out here by myself. Maybe that gives me the push to keep pushing. And then once I get on the other side of this, I can say, hey, Victor, I couldn't get back to you, but man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you sending me that text message because that message is what I needed to keep pushing. And now I get to be on the other side of it.
Right.
Right. But if you are taking my non-response personal and it had absolutely nothing to do with you, it had everything to do with me. I need you to be okay with knowing that you put the love out and your only responsibility is to put the love out. You can't put the love out and then try to control how I respond to it. That's out of your power. Now you're trying to force your desires upon my life. You can't force your desires for my life, right? All you can do is love and let love be.
Yeah.
Right. And that
Mhm.
doesn't say that I don't value the friendship. That doesn't say that you don't value the friendship. That just says that you give love.
Right.
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 And if you don't like the way I love, then you have the ability to set your boundaries. Right. And I
Right.
promise you, y'all listen to what I'm saying, because I know some people are hearing this as if, well, that just means that you're just willing to throw away the friendships that you've built. Right. One thing I have learned on my healing process, on my healing journey, is that those who are truly for me, they're still going to be there. Everyone that was in my past present, right? They weren't meant to be in my present now. And there's no ill feelings.
Right.
Just because we're not on the same page, that don't mean we're beefing. Just because I don't talk to you every day anymore, that doesn't mean we're beefing. That just means we shift. Life shifts. Allow people to change. Stop holding people bondage or bonded to their past selves. We all want to grow and be better. Don't hold me to my past self. Don't expect the yesterday me to be today's me. You're doing yourself a disservice, because I'm going to grow.
Right. Right.
I'm going to grow. I'm going to do what I need to do to elevate myself.
Yeah. Let me show the comments. Okay, this first comment says, Victor said, then we're not equally yoked. So why waste each other's time if you don't value mine? It's okay for us to part ways. I'm not going to stress myself because you want to isolate. I'll let you be great in isolation alone. Let me worry and stress myself worrying about you. Be safe, queen. And then he also says, just acknowledge that you received the message. That way we both keep our boundaries. And Jamel says, some people
Hold on. Wait. You're going a little too fast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a moment and talk to Victor, because I understand the heart that Victor is relaying his message in. Is not a heart of I want you to do things my way. It's a heart of I genuinely care about you, and I want to know that I care about you. And the only way for me to know that I care about you is for you to respond to me, right? But my non-response does not say I don't care. My non-response says, where I am at this point, I cannot give energy to something else outside of what I'm trying to fight. If I am trying to fight a belief system or something that I have carried I'm 36, for 36 years of my life, if I am dealing with something that I've carried for 36 years of my life, I'm in the fight of my life. Right? I may not have that energy to respond back to you. It may be harder for me to respond to you in a message than you think. Again, it's never anything personal. The decisions that people make is never personal. People do things in their best interest. You have to determine if their best interest aligns with your best interest. And yes, if your best interest does not align with my best interest, we are unequally yoked. And maybe we do need to part ways, but we don't have to part ways as if we're beefing. We're not beefing.
Right.
We're just at two different points in life.
Right. That's good. Jamel said, some people isolate not to face the problem. Okay, Jamel.
Well, I mean, that is a true statement. Some people do, but some people do. Some people do isolate not to in order to escape a problem. But guess what? Life happens in cycles.
It does.
Right? Life happens in cycles. And when there's a lesson for you to learn, that cycle gonna keep coming around until you learn that lesson.
Right. And then Tasha says, hello. Hey, Tasha. And Victor says, your non-response is a cry for help.
Not necessarily. Sometimes we tell ourselves storylines to make us feel better about why a person not responding. I mean, honestly, like we have sayings like,
Yeah.
rejection is God's protection.
Mm-hmm.
But what do we do to get past that rejection? Because rejection hurts. It could be protection all day long.
Right.
Oh, but that crap still hurt.
Right.
So how do we get past that?
Right.
How do we get past that rejection that we're feeling? How do Victor get past the rejection that he's feeling when I'm not responding to his care message?
Victor, answer that question. And Victor said, "Oh no, it's a beef. It's not a beef. It's not. It's not a beef for real."
So now we have to talk Victor through getting on the other side of that rejection that he's feeling by my non-response. And it's for me to saying, bro, like I wasn't rejecting you. I wasn't ignoring you. I was fighting.
Hey.
I was fighting.
And Jamel says, face the problem. Don't waste time. Don't waste time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Victor, so your narrative is the only narrative. I'm not forcing no one to talk to me. Just know when people ask, why aren't y'all cool anymore? I'm going to say I wasn't good enough. She wants to talk to the wall instead of a human. She's loco. Really, Victor? Okay.
Wow.
All right, cool.
Victor.
But see, here's the thing. Before, oh, go ahead.
Victor, I love you. Your trauma showing. I'm just teasing, Victor. That's just all love. It was just a little joke. But yeah. But you tend to find behaviors like that in people because it's essentially, as humans, all we want to do is be loved.
Right. And see,
as humans, because the greatest gift is love.
Right.
We want love. We desire love. Right. Mm-hmm. So when we feel like we're giving love and we're not receiving love back, that hurt me to my core. Right. But also, I have to step back and understand that it's not personal. Right. It's not personal. And even if it is personal, it's not personal for me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I say I did ignore Victor, then it's personal. Right. So again, Victor get to come in and decide what his boundaries are going to be. I'm not going to let you continue to ignore me and expect for me to still be there. Right. So then Victor get to say, these are my boundaries. Right. No love.
And he says, no one acceptance will ever define me. Everyone is replaceable. So people should value relationships. Yeah. Okay.
And you can value those relationships. Right.
But here's it.
So we're done with that. Right.
Let me just say this one thing to Victor. Victor, I have friends that I've had for 20 plus years, and they know that I isolate. And they'll be like, Tori, come back around. She'll fall off the face of the earth. She'll resurface when she want to talk. And they know not to take it personal. And I myself, like, say if I text you.
So is Victor talking to me based on his experiences with you? Victor, tell me, are you talking to me based on your experiences with her?
Victor is basically throwing shade. That's what that is. He's talking about me.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But here's the thing. Like, if I text someone and they don't respond, I'll call. And then if they don't answer, I'll leave a message. But I'm not my thought process. Like, my thought process is totally different. Like, if I text you a couple of times and then I leave a voicemail and you don't respond, I'm taking me out of the equation. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they may be dealing with something right now. And they don't want to talk. Because like, I have friends, like I have a male friend who's been in my life for over 20 years. Like, he lost someone close to him and he doesn't talk when he's grieving. So I respect that boundary. So I don't take it personally, if I don't, if people don't respond, I don't take it personally. And then I'll give them some time and then I'll reach back out. But if we want to be clear, Victor, if you want to throw the shade, let me just be clear. It's love. I did say, and Victor, I love him, but I did say to Victor, I say, listen, I just needed some time just to reflect and just bask in the presence of God. That's what I needed for me. And I had to do that for me. And I do that from time to time. And that's just, that's just what I do. But,
But to Victor's point, I had to ask you, why do you isolate when you're going through?
It's a you would say this while I'm live.
I mean,
It's like
I don't know. I'm here. I'm in the flow.
It's
So-
it's a defense mechanism for me,
Mhm.
and I don't want to feel like I'm putting a burden on anyone. You know what I mean?
And how many of your friends says, Tori, you my friend. Like if you need me, I got you. You're not a burden.
Okay.
How do you hear that?
Honestly, oh,
How do you hear that? You're not a burden. You're my friend. I care about you.
Yeah.
How do you hear that? What does that translate to you?
I'll hear it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll still feel like I'm being a burden.
Okay,
I'll hear them say that,
Mm-hmm.
but I still would feel like I'm being a burden.
Okay. So who have you allowed to be a burden on you?
A lot.
Okay. So once you stop allowing others to be a burden on you, you won't feel like you're a burden to other people.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Because I only speak to that because I understand. I was always the helper, but was never be able to receive the help. Right? Because in my mind, if I receive the help, then that makes me less than, that makes me weaker. Right? I don't ever want to be weaker. I'm going to be the strongest thing in the pack. Right?
Mhm.
So when I receive those type of messages of you're not a burden, just let me know what you need, I'll never let you know what I need until I begin to understand that I feel that way because I allow others to be. I carry others' burdens.
Yeah.
I try to be misfitted for everyone. Right? If I can tell you the number of conversations that I've had with people saying, damn it, I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to listen. I wanted to fix everything for everybody. I wanted everybody's life to be perfect and happy, dory. And I would rather carry the burdens of other people to make sure they're good.
Right.
Right? My back hurting. Literally. My back hurting. Literally. Back pains.
Right.
Literally going to the doctor, getting shots, like at the point of, doc, you got to give some surgery. Like, I'm here. I know you're saying I'm too young for surgery, but I need surgery because I can't carry this anymore. When I started taking off and giving people back, this is a Christian radio show, so I'm not going to cuss. When I start giving people back their own ish.
Right. Right.
And stop trying to fix everything for everybody, I don't have those issues anymore.
Right.
So again, like I said earlier, a lot of times we inflict things upon ourselves.
Right.
So we have to be mindful of our traumas, because if we're not mindful of our traumas, we will continue to inflict ourselves. And no matter how, we may be thinking we're praying against it, but if I say, oh, I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't get sick.
You speaking it.
All you're doing is speaking it. You're calling it to yourself.
Right.
But if I say, oh, I'm happy that I'm well. I'm happy that I'm well. I'm grateful that I'm well.
Right.
That my body operates and functions in the ways which it was designed to operate and function.
Wow.
Then you're able to speak life into yourself. Your words have power. The Bible tells us this. Our words have power.
Right.
Right? So even if we're trying to counteract a negative, we're still speaking the negative out of our mouths.
Right. Right. Right.
So we have to be mindful of the words that we speak.
And it's funny that you said, I was just telling Kadarius that the other day, to be mindful of what he says, because it's funny that I was telling him the same thing that I need to be telling myself to change how you speaking. And Jade said, woo.
Hey, J-Man. Hey, girl.
And let me go back to Victor's comment. Victor says, I don't speak hypothetically. I'm a very literal person. Eventually, if you keep shutting down, I have to assume I'm not valued. I didn't do it. Why punish me? And I'm not punishing you, Victor. No, you didn't do it. But, that's just something that I do. That's a defense mechanism for me. It's something that I'm, like I said.
And guess what? Sometimes our traumas will cause us to lose friends.
Yeah.
If we do not heal our traumas,
Yeah.
sometimes our traumas will cause us to lose relationships.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking. So Victor is perfectly right. When he
Yeah.
said, what he said, Diamond, that is self-inflicted. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You allow yourself to take on too much. A man wouldn't let you do that. He would advise you to sit down and chill. You are Victor, God dang it. If you were sitting beside me, I would give you a high five. Let me tell you why what you're saying is so true. Because I came from, like, listen, when my honey came along, I had it all, right? I
Yeah.
felt like I was doing it all on my own. I could definitely be one of those that say, I don't need a man. I could depend on myself.
Right.
Right? I'm not gonna fail myself, right?
Right.
But honestly speaking, I didn't want to do it by myself. Even though I could, I don't want to. So why would I continue the narrative? I don't need nobody. I don't need a man. I can hold this down. I can raise my kids on my own. I don't have kids, but I'm just saying it's just, some typical conversations that we hear.
Yeah.
I don't need a man. I'm good. I can work for everything I got. Yeah, you can, but life is a lot easier when you got a partner.
Right.
Right? And why have a partner and not have the help? Why have a partner and not allow them to help?
Right.
Why? Send me my help.
Lord.
Send me my help. Stop speaking negative affirmations over yourself and expecting different results.
Wow. And Victor also says, so, oh, you talking to him, but you won't talk to us though. Victor, don't do that. I was talking to Kadarius because he was talking negatively and I was correcting him in his negativity. But what I was saying, I need to listen to myself, my own advice. Jamel says, stop playing defense and play offense. Okay, then. And Brittany says, that's, baby, I need mine.
Oh, yes, sir. I need mine.
Listen, and that's the thing too. Now, I never was one of those females that said I don't need a man. Ooh, never.
But
and
culture
I
have trained us,
Whew.
especially the Black woman.
Right.
This whole mentality of this strong Black woman. I'm a strong Black woman. Listen here, baby, that is not a title that I look to carry. Don't label me as a strong Black woman. You can label me many things, but one of those I do not want to be.
Right. And I heard Taraji P. Henson said something about, she said the same thing. She was saying, like, when you put that label on yourself being strong, then people expect for you to be a superhero. Yeah. Like you can do it all.
Who comes to the aid of the strong?
Right.
You always got it. You can always carry it. You can always deal with it.
Right.
You always know what to do. Who comes to the aid of the strong?
Right. Absolutely. And then Victor says, y'all want to be independent. Y'all love that mess. No, I don't say that.
But also, there's some that do. There is some that do.
Yeah.
And kudos to them.
Yeah.
I'm just not one of them.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not any less of a woman because I'm not one of them.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah, I don't want to be. I'm independent, but I don't want to be.
Child. I don't even know if I even say I'm independent no more, child. I'm just me. I do what I do and let the rest fall where it may.
Oh, this was good.
Yeah.
This was really good. But I want you to also, because there was something else that I also want to, before I forget, let me this is another quote that I saw. It says, God will never give you, and this is in regards to we were talking about relationships earlier, and this is in regards to relationships. It says, God will never give you the wrong person. So when someone is not staying with you, now this is something I saw, and tell me your thoughts on this, their thought process on this. It says, God will never give you the wrong person. So when someone is not staying with you, or if it's easy for them to leave you, it's God saving you and protecting you. So what's your thoughts on that?
Nah.
Because every experience
is a lesson. So right. I don't think that just because a person isn't here, it's a saving, quote unquote, saving grace.
Right.
Or it's a saving from something. Right. Anytime a person comes and don't stay, it's not intended for them to stay.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't have to have a reason for them not staying.
Right.
their reason for leaving is good enough.
Right.
Right. So I don't have to say, oh, well, this is protecting me from whatever. Because truth be told, my time with that person taught me something.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
everyone that I encounter,
Mm-hmm.
I encounter for my good.
Right.
I don't care who you are or what you do. Everyone that I encounter for my good. Because even the encounters that I've experienced that did not feel good, it taught me something.
Right.
It's my job to learn the lesson. It's your job to be who you are.
Right. That's good. That's good. Ooh. And this is the other thing I saw. And this is the last quote that I saw. And it says, God says, you weren't rejected. I hid your value from them because they were not assigned to your destiny.
And again, I don't have to give a storyline as to why you're not here with me.
Right. Right.
All I have to do is accept what was learned.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that was one of the things for me. I was instead of learning the lesson, I was so busy holding on to the pain instead of saying, what is this experience supposed to teach me? No, I was holding on to the pain and just, yeah, I'm learning.
And holding on, why I can't get this person to love me? Why I can't get this person to give the love that I'm giving? Why can't I get this person to see me for who I am? They see you. They see what you're showing. That desperate energy, that scarcity energy, like that energy of I don't have enough, right? I can be who I am and not be concerned about who's going to accept me and who's not.
Right.
Because my only duty is to just be me.
Right.
That's my journey. That's my life journey, is to be me. Is to learn what I need to learn and elevate myself, not keep repeating the same principles and the same belief systems that is not serving my greater good. The practice of Christianity is to elevate your spirit, right? If you're holding on to traumas, are you elevating? You're not.
God.
It goes hand in hand. You can't just say, oh, I'm a Christian, and everything be okay. You can't just say Jesus, and everything be okay. You got to put some work behind that. Faith without works is dead. What work are you doing within yourself? Because it's not the work that you have to do on other people. You can't work on someone else. That's their job. You have to work on yourself.
Right.
So you can Jesus all day long, but put that work in, boo.
Right.
Don't tell yourself those storylines to make you feel good about somebody's leaving. Learn the lesson, and the lesson to make you feel good about somebody's leaving.
Right. That's good, Diamond. Victor says, don't think the devil won't send you someone. That man will smell good, talk good, do everything good, and have you walking backwards, not realizing he's not for you. He will have you turn it on the one person you're supposed to worship.
Okay, hold on, wait. Don't move from that right quick. Victor, I appreciate you today. I appreciate you. I really do. Don't think the devil won't send you someone. This whole concept, the concept of God, devil, good, evil, is a thought in your mind, right? Because you can see that same man as God sent, and I can see that same man as quote unquote devil sent, right? That same man still brings the same lesson, right? So if I learned the lesson from that man coming into my life, is it really devil sent? Or did it help push me to the place that I need to be so that I can get my true connection, my divine love? I wouldn't be able to appreciate the man that I have today if I didn't learn the lessons of previous relationships. So do I look at my previous relationships and be like, oh, all y'all was devil sent because we didn't have this happily ever after? No. everyone that came before him was lessons sent. It's all
Wow.
about learning the lesson. Life is about lessons.
Lord have mercy. Let me go through the comments. Andy says, Amen. Jay said, I felt that in my shanana. How you say that? Shanana?
Shanana.
Yeah, shanana. That's it. And it says, store my life, the distraction, idolization. I'm grateful I walked away and followed Yahweh. And Victor says, someone with faith can tell the difference.
Mm-hmm. Someone with faith and someone with boundaries can easily tell the difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy says, amen, sis, that's what pushed me. Brittany says, sis, you're gonna lose some friends behind that. It's right, but it's tight, but it's right.
Baby, you're not a friend that I gotta worry about losing. That's one thing for sure.
And Jay says, wait a minute, let me see. Jay says, wow. And Victor says, I want a shanana.
Shanana.
Yes.
Shanana. Girl, what your tongue speak? You gotta speak in tongues, girl.
I never could say.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing.
Say it again.
Shanana.
Yeah,
Put
that's
it down
it.
in my shanana. Yeah. Coming in a Hyundai.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Now you got me seeing things differently because I have been guilty of that before. The devil, and I'll say that sometimes whether or not someone is, God sent or that, but you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
We can see the same person and we can experience different. You have different experience with the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's
my
all
God.
about an illusion. It's all about an illusion. The illusion that you create in your mind for you to see.
Right.
Right. So the fruit, right? The Adam and Eve, the fruit that they ate was the knowledge of good and evil. It's the illusion, the ability to see a different story than what is actually present.
Right.
So our minds can create a picture that doesn't even exist, right? But because we can see both sides of it, we get distracted in how we perceive and judge it, right? So if I see things only as God sent, is there any evil?
Right.
Right? I see things as God sent. Everything that reaches me in my life is God sent. I just have to figure out what's the purpose for it. All things work together for the good of those who love, right? As long as I'm loving, it's going to work in my favor. It's going to work for my good. So if we take away that illusion of good and evil, bad, and we only see things through God sent, divine, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate higher being who's controlled, or the world is under the control of the superior being, right? And that goes for, I don't care who you worship, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, whoever you worship, right? If you see your life and your experiences in life as God sent, where is the evil?
That's good. Victor said, Andy Lash says that's repainting the picture. She says, amen. Victor says, Diamond, you and Brother Fatim need to meet. I would love to sit down and listen to the both of you.
Sure. I love conversations.
And James Dixon says, people meet for different reasons. Some people can teach us our best lessons as long as we are willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Now that part, that's the thing that I had to realize. Once I learned the lesson, once I start realizing Tori learned the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Patine says, Victor Wright heard my name. What's going on? He said that you and Diamond should meet and have conversation. And Andy says, yes, James, or it will repeat. And I do believe in that.
It will repeat until you learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Until you learn that lesson, it will continue to repeat. So I was always finding myself in a place of feeling rejected. Why was I feeling rejected? Because I was continually overextending myself and rejecting my own needs.
Right.
So as long as I'm rejecting my own needs, I'm giving everyone else the okay to reject me.
Right. Woo. That's good. Okay, I showed that already. But anyway, we talked well over. Well, we did had a little technical difficulty.
Yeah.
I was like, we still went over an hour, so I try to keep it a little hour.
Yeah,
Or,
because people got to get the kids together and
yeah,
school together.
yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, this was great. I appreciate the opportunity. Again, go and follow my Facebook page for my organization.
And repeat the name of the
It is
organization.
Heart of Life, HEART of Life, LIFE. I don't know. I think my friend over here telling me, what do you say? Donation. You say you was doing donations or what? What did you say? Huh? You said that you was gonna, huh? What happened? Oh, I thought you was gonna pay for a college tour or something for my students or something. Oh no. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to get my babies on a college tour. They got to go out and see the world. But no, I do. I also do some. I also do life coaching. So I am also a life coach. So I'm just here to help people heal, just to help people achieve and be the best them that they desire for
That was
themselves.
good.
That's all.
Charlene says this has been a great conversation. Thank you for
Thank
watching,
you so
Charlene.
much, Charlene.
And Victor says, do y'all do adult retreats? Victor, get off my life.
Bye, Victor. Where you put you in a corner and have you heal somewhere?
Right. And Andy says, let me know when you do this again, Diamond King. I have to go cook a leg of lamb. This was dope. My cuz and I from California is listening. We're about to wrap it up. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
James Dixon says the lesson's not easy to learn because we are too busy thinking, is this my fault because it didn't go right? Yeah.
There is no such thing as not going right.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as not going right. In my life, everything goes right.
Okay.
Everything goes right in my life.
And
Ashe.
Thank you, Brittany. She says, great show. Jade says, enjoy this. Y'all are awesome. Thank you, Jade.
Thank you, Jade. Jade actually does my marketing for me. So she does my marketing, my logo, and all of those great things.
I see.
Yeah, she's amazing. So if you're looking for logo work, websites, anything of that nature, that is your go-to. Jade Mack. I call her Jade of the Decade.
And Victor says, I'll donate if I don't have to be vaccinated. No mask either.
Oh no. See, every free choice. Choice.
Yeah.
Take care of your body and your body will take care of you.
And Andy says, that's true. Everything goes right. We received that. And Gregory Wilson says, I truly enjoy listening to y'all. Thank you, Greg. That's my cousin. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, cousin.
Thank you so much for listening. And Jamel wanted to say, but before you remember what you told me to okay. We're going to do this first before, because Jamel, I was actually going to do it begin. Jamel was like, no. Okay. We're going to do this. Before we end, we want to have a moment of silence for Taylor McFadden Robinson, Wendy Samuel, Travis Hunter, and Regina King's son Ian, and also, I hope I'm not pronouncing this incorrectly, Chesley Chris. Now, Ian, Regina's son, and Chesley Chris, she was Miss USA 2019, and she's also was an attorney. Now, Ian and Chesley both committed suicide. So I also want to put this number out. The National Suicide Prevention Line number is 1-800-273-8255. That number again is 1-800-273-8255. So we're going to take a moment of silence, and then Jamel is going to say something before we wrap up. So we're going to do this right quick. Okay. Thank you, guys. And James Dixon, great podcast. Thank you so much for watching. And I watched the podcast when you were on 360 Real Talk, Mr. Dixon. I would love to have you on the podcast as well. And Miss Tanya says, respect all times. Thank you, Tanya.
Love you, Tanya, the poet.
Yes, sir.
One love, one love. If I can say,
go ahead.
Just a few before we turn it over.
Okay.
If you're still on, I want you to take a moment and take a deep breath. A lot of times we miss our emotions and miss what our emotions are telling us because we're not breathing. So let's take 3 deep breaths. And as you release, let's release the traumas. Let's release anything that you're holding on to that is hindering you from growing. Ready? Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Give me 2 more on your own accord. Live and let be. Ashe.
That's good. That's good.
Now-
And I will, Mr. Dixon. And hold on, Victor. I thought y'all was waiting to shut up. You know what?
Hey,
night,
Vic, they
Victor.
was waiting there himself.
Go ahead and say something else, Jamil.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Jamel. That was a great podcast. And you know, I'm for the people. So I want y'all to know, if you live in the city of Darlington, February 8th, 400 Pearl Street, there's a city council meeting. If you wonder why your water bill going up, if you don't come, it's still going to go up. If you wonder why your streets ain't gonna fix, don't come to the meeting. They ain't gonna never get fixed. So next week, hold up, so you see my face, how serious I am. Next week, if you're in the city of Darlington, they have $3.2 million, and they're gonna fix a certain side of the town. So that water in your yard, when it's raining now, it's gonna stay right there. So you can sit at home if you want to, and you just go sit in the same misery.
Yeah.
You watch the Cowboys. Now come watch what they do to your city. Come on, we're trying to get 100 people out there. I know you want to say COVID, we're going to have a mask out there.
Right.
But you're going to go to the game when there's 1,000 people out there. So man, fight for your city.
Right.
Come out. It's February the 8th, 400 Pearl Street, Darlington, South Carolina, right in front of Piggly Wiggly. You know where the jail at.
Yeah.
But we don't want you to go to that side. We want you to go to the front side. And my name is Jamel Lyde, power to the people.
And look at Victor. Victor says, so now Jamel coming in front of the camera. He don't want to come on the TV.
I was on the T last week. Did y'all see me on the T last week? I sat right beside you, Victor.
Change only comes when you make the choice.
Yeah,
to
man, we
change.
need 100 people. We need 100 people. At
Right.
least 100 people.
100 people make the choice.
Yeah, so things get better in our neighborhood.
Right. Right.
That matters.
Yeah.
It matters, especially when you have those midterm elections.
Mhm.
These elections that's coming up, these midterms, these are the elections that matter. You think the
Right.
presidential elections matters? Mm-mm.
Yeah,
These city council members,
yeah.
Right.
you better know who you're voting for.
Yeah.
Your senators, you better know who you're voting
You
for.
you see them every day. You can hold them to it. You
Mhm.
can't reach Joe.
Oh no.
And you can't reach Kamala. Miss Harris, got to say her name wrong. But you
Yeah.
can reach the people that you see every day in your city.
You can hold them to the fire.
Yeah, and it starts there. And I'll be there.
What's the time again?
Come at 5:30 and start at 6:30. Bring your cameras. Bring your phone.
Okay.
They're going to have their cameras in there. Go live. But go live and speak right now. Don't go live and,
Talking food.
yeah, talking food.
And Mr. Dixon says things get done when you show up.
Show up.
Yeah.
Y'all, and what they say when we go to the club, show up and show out.
Right.
Man,
Right.
come to the city council and show up and show out.
You got to show
Right.
up for yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't show up for yourself, how you expect for anyone else to show up for you?
Absolutely.
That's it. I ain't gonna take much of your time, Jamel Live. Real Talk 360. We come on at
And I got
7.
to get home. Somebody gonna be looking
And
for
power
me.
to the
Oh,
people.
no, Jesus.
Well, we gonna wrap it up. We gonna wrap it up. But thank you
Listen,
guys.
connect. I want to connect with y'all babies. Middle school, all the way through college. Connect with me. I want to be here to help you guys. We opening up our office here shortly
Mhm.
at the BTC building downtown Florence. I want to connect with you guys. You know, I want to make sure your children have all of the resources that they need to be their great selves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then let me show this one comment. Go ahead, Jamil. Victor talking about ILEC for no isolation that leads to frustration.
Word, Vic. Word. We're gonna push out of that. But one more thing in March, I don't know the exact date, so keep tuned. But we're gonna start a after school program in Darlington where we help kids with their homework.
No,
And we're gonna help the parents with the homework, because shoot, I need some help too. When they're trying to show them that math.
with your representative for your area, Representative Robert Williams.
We sure will.
Yeah. He'll be a good source for you.
All right. Real Talk 360.
Yeah.
Check us out Saturday at 7 p.m. We for the people. Shameless plug.
Woo, woo.
119 Media Group. We'll holler at you.
One love.
Lord have mercy. And of course, that's gonna wrap it up for and thank you for I thank Diamond for coming. Thank you,
for
Diamond.
having me.
I actually listen. I'm definitely gonna have you back.
Thank
You
you.
gotta come back,
Thank
definitely.
you.
So I want to thank everyone that watched. Make sure you share this podcast. If you missed the beginning, go back and watch the replay. It'll be on 119 Media page, Keep the Faith page as well, and also the YouTube channels as well. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channels. Make sure you turn on the notification bells so that whenever we go live, you will be notified. And also, just like I said, I'm just so appreciative for all the viewers. I really appreciate you
Amen.
guys. And like I always say, because Victor said I got away from saying this, but I will say that no matter how hard life gets, you may bend, but definitely don't break. And I also want to say this a couple more comments. Mr. James says, "Man, you're amazing." He's talking to Jamel. And then Victor says, "When she come back, I need to be up there." Okay, we can make that happen. Sounds like a plan.
Look, if you ain't coming with love, I know how to be another person. I have a duality of myself. So I can be loving and sweet, but don't get it twisted. I got a little fight going on, Victor. This ain't for nobody else but for Victor. Okay?
All right, you guys. Thank you so much once again for watching. And remember, you may bend, but don't you dare break. And always remember to keep the faith. We're out. Peace out.